Hello, everyone, and welcome to Breathe Motivation. My name is Anthony Hester. I'm the host for this show. So glad to join you guys this week. Week number 2 in a row. We're on a streak, right? It feels good. A little inconsistent there, but figure while I'm up here making candles and waiting for all this stuff to cool down to be able to pour candles, I should make a podcast episode. So if you like candles, you can check out my website, velavitacandle.com. 25% off right now. Buy 2 of the big candles, you get 1 free. That's all I'm going to talk about the candles. I'll put the link in the description if you guys want to check it out. You guys are always welcome to do that, and it helps support me, so I appreciate that, myself, my family. So, but anyway, I wanted to get up on here and talk about dreams, right? So, I was asked this question a couple of years ago during an interview, and what was your dream job, or what was your dream idea when you were little? And I thought it was a little funny, and this is not political at all, and I'm not trying to be political, so bear with me. My goal was to be the president of the United States, and she asked, why, and I was like, I felt like that was the easiest way, not the easiest way, but the biggest platform to make the most change in the world, because I think the world can be such a complicated place sometimes, and I felt like being the president of the United States, you had so much power that you could make change and make effective change for everybody, right? Now, looking at it, would I want to run for president? Heck no. That's a lot of work, right? Not that that I wouldn't want to do the work, but it's just not something that I would love to do anymore. I used to dream of being, the biggest pop star or, biggest whatever, right? We all have these dreams when we were growing up, and that's the great thing about when you look at children, right? We don't know any better as children, right? We're like, hey, I can do this, I can do that, I can do whatever I want to. And at some point, I feel like life, not even life, I feel like people in life have become so jaded by the way that life affects them that they become dream killers. And I think sometimes we're surrounded by so many dream killers that we forget the ability that we have, in our hands to be able to accomplish the goals and the dreams that we want. And it's not that far out of reach. And maybe your dreams are outlandish, and maybe they do sound crazy to people, even your surrounding circle. And I know sometimes that can be troubling, because you would expect family and friends and whoever to jump on board with you with this amazing idea or this amazing thing that you want to accomplish, these dreams you want to accomplish, and sometimes they don't. And that's okay, right? And that's something that I've had to learn over the several years. Like, not everybody's going to agree with what you do. I have a lot of great support with my wife and, some of my friends and family, and, they support me in what I want to do. But I think sometimes, I think my dreams, sometimes they even scare myself, because I have such big dreams of what I want to accomplish. And, I think sometimes we can get, frozen because of those dreams and how big they are. When I look at my company, Velavita, right? I started this a year ago. I don't know how big it's going to get, but my goal, and I keep telling everybody, is my goal is to make this a multi-million-dollar company, candle company. That's how dedicated I am to this at this moment. And I want that to happen. And, people kind of like look at you and they kind of like laugh and they're like, haha, that's a good goal, right? And I don't take offense to it anymore, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about the belief within yourself and a belief within that dream that these things can happen. And maybe they don't happen, right? And that's something you got to be okay with too, is that maybe, a couple years down the road, things aren't working out the way that I wanted to, and something else catches my attention, right? That that shiny ball syndrome that we've talked about so many times. You find some other ball, but, at the end of the day, you've always got to be open to being honest with yourself and knowing what you want to go after in your life. Because so many times I hear people, and this is the sad part, is people will talk so excited. You'll see when people are excited talking about their dreams or what used to be their dreams. You see that little glimmer of hope that they wanted something bigger and better for themselves, and now they feel like it's out of reach. And it's so sad to see people, have this look on their face. You see that excitement, you see that feeling of joy when they talk about this thing, and and then the story ends, and I can never do that. I'm too old, or I don't have enough skills to get that done. I'm just crazy, right? And it's so frustrating to see that. And really, the reason for this podcast episode is to let you know that, hey, dreams can come true. And I want you to really stay focused on whatever dreams or goals that you have. Just know that they are within reach. And no matter how crazy they sound to you and how scary they sound to you, I would tell you, here are the things that you've got to do to really advance in those dreams. One, have that vision and have that belief that you can get it done, right? Belief is the most powerful thing that you can have. If you have a belief in the positivity around the world and you see things positively, that's how the world works for you, right? You see a lot of the positive things in life, and great, there are negative things that can happen, but it's all about your outlook and how those things happen, right? So when you look at life, and I look at, my wife and I talk about this all the time. Sometimes we go and revisit the past and how all of these things, my wife was telling me today that, she felt like she was always in the right place at the right time, because that's how it was supposed to be, right? And, we don't always look at it like that in the moment, right? She went from, Mexico City, only speaking Spanish, to, the United States on a softball scholarship. And then, after she got out of, college, her and her friend were like, hey, I'm going to move to Dallas. And guess what? She met the man that she was going to marry. And that was me, right? So perfect spot, right? Perfect man. No, I'm just kidding. I hope she thinks I'm perfect. I think she does, but nobody's perfect. But you get what I'm saying. We were able to meet, and it was a perfect opportunity. Now we have this great family, we have this great house, and great jobs for where we're at right now. And that's the thing. I think sometimes we look so much, I guess, in the past, and not really focus on the present moment and enjoying those current moments. And we get so scared of all those things that we get so hard on ourselves. Right, we get so hard on ourselves about all the things we haven't accomplished that we thought we would never accomplish, or or we start to focus on all the things we haven't accomplished when you've accomplished so much, and you haven't kind of sat down. And I'm not saying sit down and bask in the glory of you getting that first house, or you getting whatever you want, or that dream job that you've always wanted. But I think sometimes we need to take that second and really notice what we've done and what we've accomplished. My wife and I are going on we're going on 9 years of marriage, and we met and we got married within 3 months of dating, and we just knew it was going to be. And to have the life that we have now is amazing. Some people don't even make it, and they've been together forever before they get married. So I'm very grateful for that, and I think that's a big piece of life too, is to be grateful for what you do have. And it's okay to I see a lot of the times people talk about that next destination. You're always searching for that next destination, and you live to regret because you're not focused on living in the present. And I think you should have a vision of where you want to go next, but you can also enjoy the moment now, which will lead you to those greater moments in the present. So you've got to be able to blend. Kind of, I know I've talked about this, and I don't think there's any right or wrong in any of this, but I think the past gives you lessons. It teaches you what you've learned. The present is what's happening now, and how can I make the best out of what I've got now to create and solidify that future that I want. And I think there's a way you've got to be able to really merge those all together. And I think that can be difficult sometimes, and you never know, right? But I know in my heart that, I can accomplish whatever dreams I want to, but I've really got to focus and take action on it. And that's the biggest piece that people are missing, is taking that action, that next step to get to where they want to be. And one, because they're fearful, right? They're fearful of, hey, if I take this step, what is it going to do for my family, right? That's one of the thoughts that always goes in my head. What would happen if I make a dumb mistake and we lose out on an income, right? Or, so now I'm worried about losing a house, or I'm, worried about, making my life or my family's life miserable because of some dumb mistake that I made. But at the end of the day, I think what's the worst that can happen? You're going to lose your house, and you're going to go live in an apartment. You sell your house and you go live in an apartment, and you start building up again, right? So we start looking at all the things that we can fail in, and we start to maybe even get afraid of success, right? You start having that success, and it feels uncomfortable because you haven't had it for a long time. And then you kind of take your foot off the gas, and then self-sabotage creeps in. You have that self-doubt, and then you start crashing down your company. You start crashing down your life because, man, things are just too good. It's never been this way. So you've got to be aware of where you're at, be aware of all the things that you have within your mind, and know that, no matter what happens, you'll always find a way through, with life, with every situation that you go through. And maybe I'll dive in a little bit deeper into, my last year. And I think, it really affected me a lot with everything that kind of happened with my son Alexander's birth. And I don't talk about it much because it brings a lot of emotion to me. But I think, sometimes those roadblocks that seem like such big roadblocks maybe aren't as big as they seem, I guess, as they first do when they do happen. But great things can come out of, hard situations. So I'll maybe share about that. I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm ready to share all that, but one of these days I'll share that with you guys. But I think that helps me along my journey and keeps things in perspective. That living each day it's the last. I think is really important for us to find a way and find happiness within what we're doing now and chasing our dreams, because you can accomplish a lot as long as you have that belief within yourself. And yeah, it's scary, but get up and start moving and start focusing on what we got to do. Your dream is never dead until you decide that it's dead, right? So don't get caught up in that idea that you can't accomplish your goals and your dreams, because they're out there. You can do it. There's resources to be able to do it, and you've just got to be able to find that solution inside of that. And number one, you're the key to that, and that belief within yourself is going to be the most effective tool that you have, right? Don't worry about the outside influences that might see you as crazy, right? Or think your goals and dreams are crazy, because maybe they just couldn't accomplish what they wanted to, and they want to bring you down with it. And I know that sounds terrible, and but that does happen. Is people are looking to crash your dreams because they weren't able to accomplish theirs or gave up on theirs. But be that light for other people, be that motivation for other people to be able to get up and know that they can accomplish that dream. And I think we can all have our dreams come true. So that's this week's episode. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I will continue hopefully this streak. No, I don't want to say I will. Hopefully we'll continue this streak next week, or maybe I'll pop back in at the end of the week. I don't know. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Breathe Motivate. Like my page on Facebook, Breathe Motivation. Check out my website, breathemotivation.com. And you guys can reach out to me on all those platforms. So if you guys feel inspired, you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, I'm always open to do that as well. So whatever you guys need from me, let me know. And always remember to breathe motivation and exhale success. And I'll see you next week. Thanks.